And our real unemployment is anywhere from 18 to 20%. Don't believe the 5.6. Don't believe it. That's right. A lot of people up there can't get jobs. They can't get jobs because there are no jobs. Because China has our jobs and Mexico has our jobs. They all have our jobs. But the real number is anywhere from 18 to 19 and maybe even 21%. And nobody talks about it.
Well, there's a lot of people who would might agree with him. Joining us now is Peter Kiernan, venture philanthropist, corporate advisor, New York Times best-selling author of American Mojo. There it is on your screen. Lost and Found, Restoring Our Middle Class Before the World Blows By. Great to meet you, sir.
Such a nice time to be with you.
Thank you. All right, and it's such an important book. And you know what Donald Trump was saying there, whether he's right about the numbers or not, people are feeling it. That's why people don't believe that there's been a turnaround in the economy. Whether they have a job, it's usually a lesser job. You know, they've given up altogether looking for a job. And these are middle class folks. And you address middle class in your book, obviously. What has happened? What has happened to the rich, which you address in the book? What has happened to the less rich? And what has happened to the middle?
The most important thing to me is that the middle is getting squeezed. There's an orgy of evidence that shows there's a concentration of wealth on the top. And in the middle, people have been looking at general inflation, which has been low, but they've missed an important subpart of that, which is what I call relevant inflation. The costs of middle class life, housing, education, medicine, cars, all of that has had very spiky inflation. And as those costs have gone up and up and up, real wages in our nation have been flat essentially since 1970. That gap is the problem. And the jobs that we're creating won't fill that gap. You know, we get a jobs report all the time. And one of the things that's the most important ingredient is left out of that jobs, and that is the market value of that job. Now, one of the places where Trump is dead wrong is that there are jobs. There are millions of great jobs available in this country today.
Is there a but?
There is a but. Those jobs don't need to be created. They need to be filled. And we have a skills gap. I'll give you an example. There are probably in the next 10 years going to be 1.25 million computer sciences jobs created in the United States. That's phenomenal. No country in the world can come close to that. Not China, not Mexico, not any of the places that Trump cited. The trouble is, if you look at our college graduation rate of computer science majors against that 1.25 million opportunity, we're at about 40,000 a year. We have a talent management problem. We have people who want to work by the millions and millions, and jobs that are available by the millions and millions.
The qualifications don't match the
But
jobs.
we have to match the two.
Yeah.
It's a pipeline, it's a talent management problem. And you don't solve one of those with frankly, a campaign slogan. You don't solve those by just taxing the rich. If you're going to tax the rich, great. But take the money and do something to get the people who want to work those high-skilled jobs. I'll tell you a reason why. Those jobs are multiplier jobs. If you hire me to do some computer work for you, I'm going to have to hire somebody else. In fact, some of these jobs, like at Microsoft, typically 2 or 3 people need to be hired once one of these jobs is created. Wow. So there's a jobs opportunity right here. Any president, there are 20 people running, as you know, and every one of them claims to want to be the captain and the steward of the middle class. The way to do it is fill the jobs that are available.
Well, how do you do that? Do you redirect priorities for, like, my son's 15, okay? College he's just finished his freshman year in high school. College is 3 years off. Yeah, I mean, do you have to alert a kid like that, or kids his age, at here are the jobs so they know in advance, or do you just leave it to them to decide what they're interested in? How would you readdress this?
Well, I'll tell you something. I think letting it just happen is guaranteed not to work. That's not talent management. About 8% of the people who go to college in the United States graduate with STEM degrees, science, technology, engineering, math. In China, that's 30%. That's orchestrated, that's decided. So a young person who has talent and promise, we say, you know what, here's an opportunity for a fantastic career. We'll underwrite some of your education. We'll help you get the outside training. We'll give you pre-training. If you're going to college, we'll make sure you're ready. That sort of management of our talent force is something we need to do. One of the things that's tough is that most of the people who are saying they want to create jobs who are politicians have never created a job in their lives. They don't know how to do it.
A lot of them haven't held a job outside of politics.
Of course, and I don't blame them. Look, I haven't been in politics either, but one of the things I do know, when you create a job, it's not with a broad brush.
Right.
Someone says to your 15-year-old son, you know what, you're a talent. I'm going to hire you. I'm going to train you. I'm going to train you in a craft. It might be an apprenticeship and a skill, but I'm going to guide you. We don't do that anymore. And if you look at the guidance counselors in public high schools, there's one for 700, 800, 1,200 kids.
I just saw my son's the other day. She has like well over 100 and some odd kids. It's all there in the book, Mojo, ladies and gentlemen, and American Mojo, Lost and Found, and it's very interesting. And thank you. Pleasure meeting you. Thanks
it's
for coming
found.
up.
We have the stuff to do this.
Okay.
We can make it happen.
Good. We're coming back. More of the show. Don't go away.